Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about rejection. I don't think rejection gets talked about enough, and I don't think there's enough studies on it. And as I've been looking at it more and more lately, I'm beginning to realize that rejection is really the source of most of our fear. It's the source of what stops us from accomplishing so many things in life, not just with women, but with everything. You see, rejection goes way back. It goes way back to when we were more primitive. Think about it for a minute. The fear of rejection is a very dangerous fear. If you got rejected, if you went back, so let's say you were in a tribe 1,000 years ago, and you got rejected, what were the potential outcomes of that? And if you think about it, the potential outcome is death. Because if you get rejected from a tribe during primitive times and you're by yourself and you're on your own, well, the potential outcome is death. And I think that's still largely in our DNA today. That's largely in who we are, and we have to reprogram that. Now, no, you can reprogram your DNA, and that's been proven, but it does take some effort and some time. But I think that's still part of us, and I think we're weeding that out today. Because today, in today's day and age, that's not really true, is it? I mean, you'd have to do something really bad to get rejected to that point. And going up and talking to a girl is really not that bad. Going up and asking for a promotion is not that bad. Going up and asking for a sale is not that bad. And when you think about it in relationship to tension, the last video I just did, when you're afraid of rejection, you're going to run from the tension in the situation. You're going to want to get rid of it as fast as possible, because the more tension you experience, the greater the risk of rejection. Or at least it seems like that. But the truth is, if you look at the people in the world that are the most successful, self-made millionaires like Richard Branson, and people that have really risen to the top in all facets of life, well, they're all really good with rejection. Some of them may say they don't like it, some of them may say they're shy, but they get out there and they put themselves in the middle of it and they handle it well. They deal with it well. You see, if you're a master at the art of rejection, you're going to start to get more and more comfortable with tension. You're going to start to enjoy tension more. You're going to start to use the rejection as a way to spur you on to more success, because you're going to realize that rejection is a part of life. And the more you get rejected, the more you experience rejection and you relax into it, you start to get comfortable in the tension of the rejection, the more success you're also going to have. You can't have one without the other. Just like the guys that have the most, or business people or entrepreneurs or anybody really that has the most failures has the most successes in life. Well, the person who has the most rejections and can handle them well is going to appear the most confident in life. So if you get out there and you learn to handle rejection really well, you're going to be amazed at the difference you're going to create with women in the world around you, how they're going to see you differently. But if you're looking for a route to get women and experience no rejection at all, well, if you're lucky enough to figure out a way to do that, you're still going to experience a lot of failures, because the rejection is not going to stop the moment you get her. You see, the feminine is always testing the masculine by subtly rejecting it, pushing it away. And then what happens is the better you handle that rejection, the better you handle her pushing you away, the more you relax into the rejection, the more you get comfortable with it, therefore demonstrating your ability, in a sense, to face death on a subtle level when we look at through our DNA and we look through evolution and handle it well. The more attractive you become to her, the more confident you appear to her. Because she's going to keep testing you, like I said a moment ago, and she's going to always test you. That's part of life. And when she tests you and you handle it well, she's going to get turned on more. She's going to get more excited. She's going to start to open up and surrender to you more. And then the next day, she's going to test you again. And then you handle it well again, and she's going to surrender again more. And that process goes on forever. And some of you ask why? Why doesn't she just test you once and it be over? The best way to answer this question is, if confidence is so sexy to the feminine that it really turns them on, why would she only want a demonstration of it once? If you really like seeing a girl, let's say in high heels and a skimpy little outfit that shows off her hips, and her walking and rolling her hips and pushing her tits out and just enjoying her body, do you only want to see that once and then say, okay, she's got it, she never has to do it again? Or do you want to see a demonstration of that over and over and over again? which gets you like maybe today, next week, this weekend. So you get turned on. So you want to ravish your girlfriend over and over and over again. Well, do you think that maybe she wants the same thing from you? That she wants to see your masculine as a demonstration of a way for her to really appreciate you and love you on a regular basis. Appreciate the cultivation of your ability to step into tension, to handle rejection, to be a man, and to enjoy it. And that's the real key. The more she can see you doing it, enjoying it on a regular basis over and over and over again, the more she's going to want to surrender and enjoy being your woman. Now, she may have the ability to do it herself. She may be the CEO of a large corporation, making millions. But that doesn't mean in a relationship she wants to stay in that masculine. She's looking for a man that's as good at it as she is, that she can surrender it to so she can be fully feminine for him, dance for him. And that's the real key, isn't it? So as you begin to master rejection, I'm going to invite you into this idea, mastering rejection, you begin to become calm in the face of rejection, because there's a lot of forms of tension, right? You could have tension from failure. I mean, you could literally be worrying about failing at a project, have nothing to do with rejection. Or you could be afraid of failing because ultimately you're really afraid of getting rejected by people once you fail, which is often very common. But you can have many forms of tension in that way. And I think the most powerful form of tension mastery is being able to master facing the fear of rejection. And so I want to invite you into this world. Now, to practice this, we talked about the tension journal, stepping into tension every day. Maybe walking up and talking to 5 people. Start to think of it a little differently now. Start to think of walking up to those people and facing rejection. What can you do every day to face a little more rejection? What can you do every day to step outside your box and learn to calm down in it a little bit more? You could just walk up to women and say hi. That's a great way to face rejection. But what if you did the 5 that I talked about in the last video, where you approached 5 women a day and just asked a random question, nice and small, and then once a day you did something a little bolder, a little bigger for 30 days. Maybe you give an impromptu speech at the outdoor mall. We have the 3rd Street Promenade here. We've had clients literally stop and give an impromptu speech on the street to see how many people they could get gathered. Do something big and feel what it's like to really step into tension. What if you went and asked a stranger to loan you $50 and just to watch their reaction? One day I went out and I was practicing early on getting comfortable with sales, so I made it ridiculous and I went out and asked strangers if they'd want to buy my coaching package. I just walked up and said, hey, I'm a coach. I got this great coaching package. It's only $5,000. Are you interested? No explanation, no reason why. What I was going for was the rejection. I was asking them in a sense to reject me, and then I would relax into it. And then I would write down what I learned from it. And it was interesting because a lot of those people had a hard time rejecting me. They wouldn't say yes, but they wouldn't say no. They'd look at me like, and I almost had to coach them into a no. I say, you know what, it's okay, you can say yes. Then they would relax and they go, well, no. And I go, awesome, thank you. I walk away. In that last one, in the one where you're going out and looking for rejection, you're really pushing it, you're not looking for a yes. You're doing something that will get you rejected. Not something mean, not something crass, not something rude, just something that'll get you rejected. One of the things that I've had students do in the past, and this is another one you can do, is they go into a bar at night and they walk up to women and say, you know what? And this one's interesting because you'll have a hard time getting rejected on this one sometimes, is they walk up to women and say, you know what? I'm just working on my confidence and I'm building my confidence up. I was wondering if you could do me a favor. Can you tell me to get lost? Can you reject me? Just reject me in the best tone possible. And a lot of times they laugh and they don't know what to say and they're like, no, I can't reject you. And some of them will reject you. But it's another one you can play with because it'll bring up everything that's inside you that you're most afraid of and get you to face it. So I want to invite you to face rejection. I want you to come up with creative and inventive ways to face rejection. You know, ways that aren't necessarily attacking people or insulting people, just ways that invite a no so you can feel what it's like. And you're going to feel a little shitty at first. But as you learn to calm down and relax, you learn to let it go, you're going to begin to realize rejection is no big deal. And as you get comfortable in rejection, you're going to get comfortable in tension. As you get comfortable in tension, you're going to get better with women. You're going to appear more confident. The way your sub-communication works is going to change. So get started today. Do a 30-day practice, maybe a 60-day practice. And remember, the consistency of the practice is more important than trying to do it all in one day or all one weekend. Over time, with rest in between, you change, just like weightlifting. So get out there, get started today, and I want to hear what happens. Make sure you put comments in the video below and let us know your experience. What did you do? What happened? How did it change you? What are you learning with time? Particularly after 15 days, 20 days, 30 days, I want to hear what happened. And let us know what you want to hear more of, what you want to learn more about from this experience. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, because we really are here to serve you guys, and I really want to bring you the best content available, and I don't want you to miss any of it. And remember, what would you do if you were not afraid? And in this case, what would you do if you were rejection proof? See you in the next video. It brings it home. So if you don't know your purpose, discover it now. The core of your life is your purpose. Everything in your life, from your diet to your career, must be aligned with your purpose if you are to act in coherence. In meeting women during the day, you know, environments like this, just walk rolling down the street and you see a beautiful girl, you want to say hi to her, how to roll up and say hi to her without being strange, creepy, or weird. What I really like about daygame.com, actually.